Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kenny and I am relaxing today and kind of taking it easy, and I want to talk to you again if I may. Now, it's a cool day here. It's in the mid 60s. It's overcast and we've had a ton of rain for the past couple of days. But it's breaking off a little bit, and that's encouraging to me, because who likes a rainy day? But I want to talk to you about maybe what we would call, some people would say would be a controversial issue on the subject of weight loss. Now, some of you know that I am very active and I move around, and around here some people would say if you move around a lot you won't let any grass grow under your feet. I will admit to you I stay active, and of course if you watch my videos you know that I do just that. But today, weight loss is something that most people, they just don't want to talk about it to begin with, or in many cases they've given up on their circumstances and their situation. Or it could be that some people just don't care. Now, I hope that that's not one, or the last one, I don't care thing. I hope that's not you. That if you're struggling with your weight, I hope that that's not the case. Now, I want to tell you right off the bat, I am not a doctor. Oh boy, can't you tell that? I am not a personal trainer, and that's pretty obvious, I think, too. But I can say this to you. I'm a person that's been there and done that, if you know what I mean. Let me give you a little background about myself, okay? Some of you have thought, well, I don't know this guy. I don't know where he's from. I don't know what he believes. I don't know what he thinks. Listen, let me give you just a little background and maybe settle a little thought in mind. When I was a youngster growing up, in my late teens, let me tell you, and can I be blunt here? Okay? You might not like this term as I would say it, but I was a fat kid. At 18 years old, I was 42 inches around the waistline. Yeah, 42 inches around the waistline. And I won't tell you how heavy I was, okay? Okay, so by saying that, I can tell you that I have been there and done that. I know a little bit about weight loss. I do. And first of all, let me say that I want to give you a few tips that will help you if you are struggling to lose weight. And then really many of you, since this pandemic has started, you have packed on a few extra pounds, probably, that you would not have packed on had it not been this pandemic, which started back in early spring. So you're struggling, possibly. You're possibly struggling. But I want to encourage you to do something here, probably, that you've never thought about doing. There's one thing you've got to understand here. Weight loss is more like a journey. It's not about a diet. Diets, for the most part, they do not work. You've got to learn a few things, and one of those things is you've got to learn a new lifestyle. And I'm talking about, an old saying is, you've got to learn to eat to live rather than live to eat. Now, I think that statement bears repeating. You've got to learn to eat to live rather than live to eat. That's very important. It is a journey. And a moment ago I said diets don't work. I know they don't work because I tried those things many, many years ago. Now this has been about, I want to go back a little farther with my history. This has been 25 or 30 years ago. I took a look in the mirror and I saw myself, and let me tell you, I was not happy when I saw what I saw, mainly looking at myself in the mirror. And then's when I decided to do something about it. Now there's an old saying that says, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Now that could relate to you when it comes to losing weight. If it's going to be, it's up to me. You have got to make a decision. And what I talk about and mean by making a decision is you need to evaluate your circumstances and do like I did and look in the mirror and ask yourself a lot of hard questions. You look in the mirror and you say to yourself, do I like what I see? It's very obvious you wouldn't like what you see, and you don't like what you see. Okay? You ask yourself, do I feel good by looking the way that I do? Most likely the obvious answer to that would be no. Am I healthy by being the way that I am? And that's another obvious answer would be no. So here's what I recommend, and here's a tip for you. It all starts out by you making a commitment to change. Change. You make a commitment. And what do I mean by that? You have got to focus on a couple of things here. First of all, you need to set your mind. Set your mind with a determination that is so strong and so powerful that you cannot possibly fail. Now, the only reason you'll fail with this is because you yourself, you either give up, you throw in the towel, or you just flat out quit. Now, keep in mind that this is something you need to understand and learn. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. If you're going to be successful at losing weight, you've got to first make a commitment. And I'm talking about setting your mind that no matter what it takes, no matter what you got to do, no matter how long it takes, you've got to have that desire and it be so hot that it will burn you by merely just thinking about it. Let me ask you a question. How bad do you want to lose weight? How bad do you want to lose weight? If your answer is anything less than this, then you're not ready to lose weight. You've got to have a mind that's made up, and it be so strong that you are willing to do whatever it takes. No matter what you have to do, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, no matter what, etc., etc., etc. Anything less than that, and I will say to you that you are not ready. If you will do this, listen, if most of you, you'll say, well, I'll try this method. And we'll do a little experimenting with it. We'll see where it goes to. Let me say to you, you're already dead in the water when you try a method like that, because you've not got a mindset. Your mindset determines whether or not you succeed at weight loss. If you don't have a mindset, the odds of you succeeding are 99.99% totally against you. It is a wasted case. You're doomed to fail. Your mind determines your success in losing weight, and that could also apply to a lot of other things as well. But let me tell you what I'm talking about a mindset. You've got to set a goal before you start on this journey, okay? It starts with a mindset. Now, one thing, another tip here. Don't set a goal. Don't set a goal until you first set your mind. That's very important. You need to really just lock that tip into your mind. But what I mean by setting a goal is you need to look in the mirror and you need to look ahead, visualizing what you want to look like a year from now, or 2 years from now, or even 3 years, or even 4 down the road. You want to visualize what you want to look like. Okay? Now that's a goal. You're seeing in the future what your weight loss results will be later on. Now keep in mind here, you didn't get to where you are right now overnight. No. You didn't get to where you are overnight because you've spent years on looking the way you are right now. You've spent years on looking the way you are right now. And let me tell you very clearly here, you didn't get to where you are overnight, and you're definitely not going to get back to where you want to be overnight. No, you're not going to go that way. It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. It's going to take a long journey. And you've got to be willing to stay in the race. Now listen, you look at yourself in the mirror. Let me finish this. And you visualize what you want to be. Now don't you look in that mirror and you visualize yourself 2 or 3 years later as looking like a Barbie doll. Oh, come on now. Listen, folks. I'm laughing here, and it's kind of funny. But let me tell you something. You're not going to look like no Barbie doll. See, that's fantasy. That's being totally unrealistic. Now, when you set a goal as to what you want to look like 2, 3 years later, use common sense. Use common sense. And what I mean by that is, don't be radical. Don't be totally unrealistic. Don't be some kind of imaginary being that you're not. Visualize yourself as being totally like you want to be, but don't go crazy with this. Don't try to think yourself as being or will look like a Barbie doll. That's not going to happen. No, it's not. But at the point that you realize who and what you want to be a little bit later. Now that's setting your goal. Now there's where your diet starts. First off, you've got your mindset. Okay? And then the next step is you've got a goal. You're being realistic as to who you want to be and how much weight that you want to lose. And then, what's next? Here's another tip. Go to work. Go to work. Now let me show you what I'm talking about here. Weight loss methods don't work. Why do they not work? Diets, 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 diets. They don't work because for the most part, you are eventually going to have to come off of that diet. Okay? You're going to have to eventually come off of that diet because you can't stay on it, inevitable. You can't stay on it forever. It's just not that way. You can't stay on it. But see, a lot of people can't wait. If you know what I'm talking about here. They'll go on a diet. They'll go on a diet. And they'll begin to have crazy thoughts, and they'll begin to say to themselves, after a little while, it gets boring eating that nasty stuff, okay? They begin to visualize themselves getting excited about going off of that diet. And what happens when they do? They go off of the diet, and oh my God, they go in and just eat, eat, and eat, and eat. And I don't want to hit you hard with this, because I know many of you are struggling and you're hurting. And you're sick and tired of diets. But what happens? When they go off of the diet, they go back to eating what they used to. And for the most part, they eat almost half as much as they did before. Twice as much, rather, excuse me. And what happens? They gain all the weight back that they lost. Plus they pack on probably 40, 50 more pounds on top of that. It's about learning. Listen, during this journey, you've got to do this. This is another tip for you. You've got to learn what to eat. You've got to learn when to eat and how much to eat. That's a very important tip you need to learn right there. You need to learn what to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat. Let me recommend to you, if you're starting this journey, number one thing to do, start eating real food. Start eating real food. And start a step down spiral. That's a fancy word. But it means simply just take a step back and watch your portion size. And let me say to you this very clearly here. When I was back at that particular time, years and years ago, when I was like 42 inches around the waist, I'm going to tell you, and I'm embarrassed to say this, and it's really kind of shameful, if you will, but back then, I would eat an entire chicken all by myself. You heard me right. Yes, I would eat an entire chicken all by myself. Nobody else would I share with it. Listen, it's not that I had a greedy heart or anything like that. I loved food. Food can be your best friend or it can be your biggest enemy. You know what I did? This is a gradual step down thing, folks. Let me tell you, you've got to learn these things. You've got to learn these things. You've got to have some confidence in yourself. You start to step down slowly. Instead of eating 10 pieces of chicken, well, you do that. But what you do is the next time you eat, the next day or the next day or two, you instead of eating 10, you eat 9. Eat 9. What will that do to you? That'll build your confidence. Listen, you may say, well, I don't have no confidence in this. I don't have any confidence in what I'm doing. I don't have any confidence that this will work. I don't have any confidence that I can lose weight. Well, let me say to you, confidence is going to build success. If you have zero confidence, you'll probably have zero weight loss. Have some confidence. Build some confidence. Listen, use your faith. If you've got faith, listen, nothing is impossible to you. The only loser can be as if you throw in the towel, like I said a while ago, and quit. Start eating. If you're eating 10 pieces of chicken, go after 2 or 3 days, go down to 9. And after 2 or 3 more days, go down to 8. Just keep right on going down. As time progresses, go on down to 7. Go on down to 6. Do you know what I did? When I used to eat an entire chicken, when it was all said and done, near the end of my journey, not to say that this journey ever ends, it does not. But when I got down to a particular amount, I finally went down to eating 2 pieces of chicken rather than eating an entire chicken, a whole chicken. That's how it works. And listen, when you begin to see your progression, when you begin to see success, and it will come if you will stick with it. Drop the sodas. Listen, that's very important. That's another good strong tip for you. Drop the sodas. Drop them, drop them, drop them. Any health practitioner, any doctor, any health coach, any one of those, they'll tell you that you cannot lose weight until you do one thing. Control your appetite. Eat real foods. Now, you can't lose weight by eating this processed stuff and stuffing yourself with pizza. Don't pretend. Don't try to listen. You can't do that. Drop those sugary drinks. Drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water. Eat real food. Eat real food. But let that portion size gradually go down, go down, go down. Don't eat late night. Don't eat anything after 6 o'clock in the evening. You need to set that rule. That's very important because when you lay down on that food is not going to digest. It's going to turn to fat. And listen, start exercising. Get on a regiment of good exercising, even if it's just walking. Even if it's just walking. Gradually get out there and get into the move. Start moving. Start moving those legs. Start moving those arms. Even if it's just walking, do it. You're not going to lose weight until you control that appetite. How do you control that appetite? I ask you that question, and I'm sure you can say to me, well, tell me how I can control my appetite. By eating the right foods, eating at the right time, and not stuffing yourself. Your body, your stomach will begin to gradually, it will begin to shrink a little bit. Little bit. Now, this is a lifestyle change, I'm telling you. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle change. That's the way it is. That's how it works. You control your appetite by eating the right foods. Eat real foods. And let that gradual step down process work for you. That will build your confidence. Now, if you've got low self-esteem and no confidence in yourself, before you start this journey, you need to get both. You need to get some confidence in yourself and get that self-esteem built up to where that you will put it to practice in your mind and you'll go through with it. Don't never look back. Listen, you can't do that. When you start this journey, don't look back there to what you used to eat. Don't look back there what you used to do, what you used to drink. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stay off of those scales. Don't hop on those scales every time you eat. Don't do that. That just don't work. Trust me, it don't work. Weigh yourself maybe once a week if you want to. Go 2 weeks. I don't care. That's fine. That won't make a whole lot of difference because everything, if it's going smooth, that really won't be an issue. But just keep going. Don't look back. Don't look back because it is so important. It's so important. And change will come. Give it time. Don't be like someone said, well, I tried that a day or two and it just didn't seem to have no really impact on me and it didn't seem to matter or whatever. This works over time. This is not some magical formula. This is something that will bring you results, providing you will go forward with it and take these tips that I've given you to heart. Remember, make up your mind, set it. Set your goal, and press forward with it. And don't stop until you reach that goal. And let me tell you, you'll gradually see results come. And I know what I'm talking about. They will be real. And you'll look forward to the next pound and the next pound and the next pound. And pretty soon you'll be going to buy some brand new clothes. And let me tell you, that is so exciting. I've been there and done that. And listen, if I can help you, if you want to send me whatever contact method that you want to do, whether it be just a comment or etc., a question, whatever it might be, if I can help you, let me tell you, I would certainly love to try if I could. But this is a method that I have tried myself, and I know that it works. I know that it works. But it takes long-term commitment. long-term commitment, because when you're on a diet, you get off of the diet and things crash. On a real life situation like this, it is a total different ball game, because you're in this for the long run, and this is what it really takes. So I want to close with that in mind, and let me say this to you. I appreciate you this afternoon for watching our videos, and I hope that this is something that you will utilize and take heart. But listen, thanks for watching our videos, and you have a wonderful, blessed day, and we'll talk to you later.